So the first question, what we want to do is very clear. We want to change people's lives through nutrition. We want to improve quality of life for everybody. I mean, we want to give people simple message and simple products for them to be able to eat better, to live better, to stay better. So this is very simple concept, but it's not so easy to reach. Why? Because we are in a world in which we come from a challenge of being able to feed a lot of people because we are increasing the world population. So because of that, we started years ago to look for new ways to produce food in a very big way. I mean, to produce a lot of food. The problem was in that run for getting more food and more food and more food, sometimes we forgot the quality of the food. So today we have a lot of food and we have to commercialize all this food. Actually, we have more food than we need. We have more food than we need for all the world, much more. But we have to put this food in the market and we have to push people to take this food. So we are creating mountains of food that sometimes is not healthy food, and we are trying to make people to eat that. And this is what scientific community have called an obesogenic environment. I mean, if you let yourself free outside, all the environment is going to push you to eat, and to eat most of the time, not the things you have to eat. So if you don't take care of what you eat, if you don't put like a filter in your brain, in your knowledge about what you are putting in your mouth, probably this environment is going to make you to eat more than you need and worse than you need. So we have to work against that. We have to try to solve that. And if you look at this, for example, this film that is a documentary, you can understand that we are now producing food with the goal of producing more food, not with the goal of producing quality food. And this is the question. We have to change that. And what we can do for changing that, I think we have to ask to the science. And when we ask to the science, and we look at what is the science telling to us about health and food, and etc., we are going to find that science is talking not especially about food, it's talking more about nutrients, protein, micronutrients, fiber, more protein, omega-3, effect of protein. So we have to realize that eating is not just about calories. Obviously, most of the people think, okay, I need to eat because I need energy. So eating is the way for getting energy. Calories are energy. The only thing I have to do is to adjust the energy I need to the energy I eat. If I eat the same energy that I need, I'm eating well. It's not true, because the real nutrition, as the name says, is about nutrients. For sure, you have to try to adjust your calorie balance. You have not to eat more calories than you need, or you have not to eat less calories than you need. But what is really important for you are nutrients. Why? Because we are a big machine of more than 30 trillion of cells. But not only 30 trillion of cells, we also have more than 38 trillions of bacteria inside us. And we have to feed all this community, because all this community are us. We are a community of cells and bacteria working together for having you alive, and for having you a performance, for having you working, or for having you walking around, whatever. All this community has to be fed in the right way for keep your health. So we have to take that in mind, because on the other side, these cells are being renewing every few times. For example, one of your red blood cells only live for months. I mean, if you think that now you have millions of red blood cells in 4 months, all these cells have died. But nothing happened. Why? Because your body is continually creating new cells, rebuilding all the tissues, rebuilding all the cells. So for doing that, we need a lot of material. We need a lot of blocks for constructing this wall that are our tissues. So we need continuously, not only calories, not only the energy for moving or the energy for this internal work, we need also the material, the blocks for constructing that. And this material, these blocks, are the nutrients. And we have food, and nutrients are in the food, but not all the food have the same amount of nutrients. So we can look at characteristics of the food that we can call nutrient density. That means how many nutrients this food gives to me for any calorie. I mean, what is the rentability of this calorie? How good is this calorie for me? I mean, in this calorie, how nutrients? How many nutrients I have? So we have food with very low ratio of nutrients, and we have food with better ratio of nutrients. So we have to look for this food that have more nutrients in less calories. Because in our society now, we have an excess of calories and a defect of nutrients. So to solve that, we have to reduce the calories and to increase the nutrients in this food. So we have to look for food with more quality, with more nutrient density. And this is what we try to do with science. What we try to do with science is to go to the plants, to go to the nature, and with this science, we extract these nutrients, that is what we need, and we try to put these nutrients in products that are affordable to people, products that are easy to be used for everybody to improve their nutrition. Why? Because we know that we need more nutrients, and we are crazy about quality. This is the reason that we are testing all the process in all the steps. We test the plants, we test the raw material we extract from them, we test the process of making the products, we test the transportation, we test the store, we test everything for keeping this quality product. Because we know that today we have a lot of excesses in our nutrition and a lot of deficiencies. So we have much more sugar, much more calories, much more chemicals, much more simple carbohydrates, etc., that we need. But we don't have enough protein or enough quality protein, that is very important. We sometimes don't have enough vitamins or enough minerals, especially if we do exercise and we shoot a lot. We don't have enough fiber. We don't have a lot of things that we need. We don't have enough water even. So we have to try to solve that. So when we take this equation, we say, okay, we know what people need to complete their nutrition, to have a right nutrition. That is what we call what your body needs, because the nutrition is something individual. Everybody needs good nutrition, but everyone has special needs, depending on a lot of things, on their gender, age, weight, activity, genetics, etc., etc. So what we try to do is, if we know that in our general nutrition, our nutrition outside, there are some deficiencies, we try to develop products that can solve these deficiencies, that can give you all these nutrients you are not taking enough in your normal food. And taking both together, for sure, always trying to improve your nutrition, your food. But taking these supplements, you can reach what your body needs. And we try also not only to do that, we try to explain that to the people, because you have to remember that nutrition is a voluntary act. It's something that you do every day. So you have to have you have not to be a university degree in nutrition for taking care of your nutrition, but you have to have simple concepts to be able to decide what to eat. More of you have said, I read the labels. Actually, most of you read the labels, if not always, a lot of time. Why? Because you are worried about that. But if you read the labels and you don't understand this information, it's not useful. So you have to understand what your body needs. And it's very simple, because we have select a group of nutrients that are the nutrients that can be in these deficiencies in our diet. There is protein, micronutrients, healthy fats, because sometimes we eat a lot of fats, but not the healthy fats. We will talk about that. Fiber, phytonutrients, and for sure, a good hydration. So we have to take care of all these areas every day, every single day. And we try to give help on that based by science and technology, using all the food technology you have to now to improve the quality of the products and the quality of the nutrients in your diet. So what we finally are trying to do is to deliver this science to the people, helping them to help themselves, and then to transmit to others the same way you are going to do. If you find that the information you receive now is useful, is good, you are going to transmit this information to all the people that is following you. So it's very important to feel first yourself that the things are working in the right way, because then you feel strong, you feel confident to transmit to others. Because, at the end of the day, if I'm a doctor, I can see maybe 10, maybe 20 people in my consultation every day. So I can reach 20 people a day. It's very few for the change we need to do. But with your help, we can reach 1,000 million people. So with your help, we can transmit this healthy information to a lot of people. So I thanks to you for that. So how we have to do that? We are going to try to be simple. The first point is what we call core nutrition, basic nutrition. And then we also are going to talk about some new nutrients that have a lot of press, are very fashion nutrients because are new, and people think, oh, these nutrients actually are very good nutrients, are very important, but we don't have never to forget basic nutrition, okay? And then we have to be able to put all these classic or core nutrition and new nutrients in a formula that people can apply in their daily life. So in this basic nutrition, we're going to talk about protein, that is the leader of the macronutrients, because we also have carbohydrates, we also have fats, but we don't have deficiencies of carbohydrates or fats. Actually, we have excess of simple carbohydrate or bad fats or saturated fats. So we have not to take care of them. Actually, we have to try to diminish them. But we have to take care about the protein we eat, because as we have answered the question, most of you are worried about the proteins, but it's not a problem of high protein diet. You don't need a high protein diet. You need a right protein diet. And when I say right, it's right in amount, but also right in quality, but also right in the way you eat that. We will talk about that. Second point is micronutrients, vitamins and minerals, and hydration. So about protein is so important because really protein is the blocks we use to build our body. And when I say we are renewing our cells every day, what we use for doing that is protein. For any kind of cells, we sometimes associate protein to muscle cells, but also our skin cells are made of protein, okay? So all our cells are made mainly of protein, and we need proteins to rebuild all these cells, okay? So protein is the first solid component of our body. I mean, if you dry a body, if you take off the water, the main component should be protein. And the main component in our diet is not protein. It's always carbohydrates or fat. And carbohydrate and fat are not the main component of our body. Fat is very important it's close to protein, but carbohydrate is a very low component of our body. But you are going to tell me, yes, but we eat carbohydrate for the energy. Okay, if you are doing a sport, maybe you are going to need some more carbohydrate for this energy. But for most of us, the main energy fuel is fat. When you are not doing exercise in this resting situation, the fuel our body is using is not carbohydrate, it's fat. Okay, we only need carbohydrate when we are doing exercise in a high level, because carbohydrate is easy to be burned, to be used. So in these situations, in these sports in which you need a lot of energy, more carbohydrate is justified. For the most of the people, we don't need too much carbohydrate. We don't need as carbohydrate as we are eating, okay? But we need a right amount of protein and a right amount of quality protein. Where we are going to find the protein? In animals, in meat, in fish, in eggs, also in dairy products, in milk and yogurt, cheese, whatever, and also in vegetables, we have protein. What happens is that most of us think that vegetable protein is low quality protein, and it's not always right, because vegetable protein has been demonstrated to be healthier. I mean, it's recommended to eat at least 50%, at least. If you eat all your protein for vegetable sources, it's okay. Vegetarian is perfectly okay, because we have all the protein we need in vegetables, okay? What is not okay is to eat more than 50% or a big amount of protein from animal sources, okay? Especially red meat, okay? So a great option when we look for protein in vegetables is soy, because it's a plant protein with high quality and very, very easy to digest. And some people have said, no, but soy has an estrogenic effect. It's not true. It's not true. Soy has an effect that can be like some of the effects of estrogens, but it's not an estrogen. It's very difficult. It's very different. What happens is that soy, for example, can help you with the symptoms of menopause, but it doesn't seem that it's gonna stimulate your estrogenic receptors. Actually, because not soy, the phytosterols in the soy are gonna occur. These receptors are gonna protect from a hyperestrogenic effect. So because of that, the scientific reality about, for example, soy and breast cancer is that soy is good for avoiding breast cancer, also for increased survival in people who has the cancer. And we have a lot of papers demonstrating that it's very important to eat vegetable protein, that you have not to eat a lot of red meat, you have to decrease your consumption of red meat, and that soybean is an amazing protein that is going to give you all you need, and these isoflavones are good for your health. And the impact on the development of cancer and the prognosis of breast cancer is positive. So the clinical studies show us that soy is healthy and good. And there is another point, is that it's friendly with the planet. What do I mean? I mean that the impact of animal protein in our planet is much higher, much bigger than the impact of the vegetal protein in our planet. Because for producing animal protein, we need more water, we need more land, and we produce more greenhouse gas. So if we want to take care of our planet, we have to move from this big amount of meat to more vegetable protein. I don't mean we cannot eat meat, for sure. We can eat meat. But we have to keep in mind that we have to try to reduce the meat and increase the vegetable source of protein. And how much protein we have to eat every day, depending on how old you are, on your constitution, on the exercise you do, etc., etc. We can say that most of the people need between 1 or 2 grams per kilogram of protein in their daily diet. Okay, it means that somebody who weighs, for example, 75 kilos is going to need between 75 and 150 kilos, depending on is a sedentary person of a very, very high active person with strength training. Obviously, we prefer to move people to the group of active people, to the group of people training. So normally we are going to recommend 1.2 or 1.4 because we want everybody to be active, okay? So another point that is very important is that protein is not stored in the body. I mean, if you eat carbohydrates, your body can store part of these carbohydrates in a big molecule called glycogen. This glycogen is in your liver, this glycogen is in your muscles, and when you need carbohydrate, you can use this glycogen. I mean, you have a reserve of carbohydrates. And for sure, you know, everybody knows that we can store a lot of fats in our body. When we eat fats, we are going to store them in all our fat tissue. And we can, a lot of reserve of fats. Sometimes a very big reserve of fats we don't want to have, okay? But we don't have reserve of protein. So, because we need protein continuously, if you don't give your body the protein your body needs, your body is going to look for this protein wherever. And what is wherever? Is your muscle. Every time you don't eat the protein you need, you're going to lose muscle. When you do crazy fasting without eating anything, you are going to lose muscle. And muscle is not easy to recover because you say, no problem. Then I'm going to eat later and I'm going to recover my muscle. No, because when you eat, your calories are going to go to your fat, not to your muscle. Okay? So it's very important to realize that we have to give to your body the protein your body needs, but in a continuous way, and no more than 30, maybe 35, depending on the kind of protein you are using. If you are using whey protein, probably 25 is a limit, and if you are using soy protein, maybe 30, 35 is a limit. No more than this amount of protein. You can do it. Yes, you can do it. But you are wasting that. You are throwing that to waste. So what we have to take care is to give your body the protein that your body needs, but in the way that your body can use that. Not more than about 30 grams per food, okay, per meal. So we know now that when you give protein to your body, you let your body to create muscle till this limit. How can extend a little bit this limit to create more muscle? Doing exercise. If you exercise, your body is more able to incorporate more protein in your muscle, okay? At young age, and also if you are older like me, okay? If you eat the right protein and do the right exercise, you're going to increase your muscles. And this is especially important at my age, because you know, when you are young, actually your muscles survive by itself. But when you start to be older, if you don't eat the right amount of protein and you don't do the right exercise, your muscles are going down. And this is what we call sometimes aging process. People age because they don't take care, because they don't do the right exercise, because they don't do the right nutrition. So if we help people to keep from here, from the time they were young and they thought they didn't need that, a good nutrition and good activity, we are going to keep the lane in that point. We are going to keep a good amount of muscle in our body, so our quality of life, I promise you, is going to be actually very, very high. So it's very important to realize we have to do it continuously, because when people get older, they are less worried, and we say them, okay, you have to finish your work, don't worry, don't do anything. No. You have to be active. You have to be active all your life, mentally active and physically active. And if you finish your work because you have been working all your life, and now you are having a pension and you don't need to work, okay, fantastic. Let's go to dance. Let's go to do exercise. Let's go to travel. Let's go to live. Okay, but never stop. And never stop in a good nutrition. Okay? And as I say to you, has to be continuous. Because when I stop to receive proteins, I have a protein breakdown. I lose muscle. When I eat, I can create protein. So for trying to avoid these peaks, what we have to do is to eat in a right way. And most of the people don't do that. Don't take the right amount of protein in the breakfast, in the lunch, and in the dinner. Most of the people, especially in breakfast, don't take the right amount of protein. And sometimes even on lunch, because they are in a hurry and they have no time, and they say, okay, just a salad, I have to take care of my weight. Yes, but in a salad there are not a lot of protein. Okay, and sometimes it's not enough. So these people is losing muscle here, and is increasing fat here, not recovering the muscle. So it's very important, this image in our brain, for, remember, we have to eat protein, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we need protein all the day. Quality protein, good food, high density nutrition, food, okay? And has been demonstrated that this right distribution of protein is going to help your health. And this is the reason we focus a lot on breakfast, because we think it's the most important meal of the day. Think of the name. Breakfast is the food, the meal that is taking you off the long fasting situation we have, that is the night. So it's okay. This fasting situation is okay. There are some processes that can take place in this time, but when you wake up and you start to work, if you don't eat, you're going to start to lose muscle. So it's very important to eat in the right way as soon as you begin your day. For me, there is an exception for that, and maybe if you want, we can talk a little bit more about that with the questions. That is, when you wake up, I recommend people to do some exercise as the very first thing. And I recommend to do this exercise in a fasting situation. And you tell me, Julia, you have said to me that I need to have breakfast as soon as I wake up. And now you are telling me, wake up, don't take the breakfast, and even go to exercise. Because of that. Because fasting exercise is promoting a very good use of the fats for your body. So when you are exercising, you are stimulating your body to lose your muscles, because you are using your muscles. So I don't say to you not to have breakfast. I say to you, deserve your breakfast. Do exercise and then take your breakfast. In that way, your breakfast is going to go directly to your muscles, and your body is going to have the information about what you want to do with your body. You want a body able to exercise, so you want to respect your muscles, and you don't want to have too much fat, okay? You want to use your fat as a source of energy. So it's very important to do that. And has been demonstrated that when you take the right amount of protein in your breakfast, you don't crave, you don't eat these little things you don't have to eat during the day. Okay, maybe chocolate, maybe. No. You are not going to crave if you take the right breakfast. So the right breakfast is the best solution for starting a good nutrition day, okay? Because at the end of the day, you're going to need protein, and this protein is going to satisfy your hunger. So if you take the protein in the breakfast, you are not going to be hungry, and then your hunger is not going to be your serve. It's not going to decide for you, okay? So you are going to help to maintain your muscles and all your body. But what we give to the people is a shake. And you want to tell me, okay, Julian, so this shake is protein. No, protein is probably the most important nutrient in this shake, because we need this protein at this time. But we take advantage that we are taking a meal to introduce in this shake all the nutrients you can need. So in this shake, you don't have only protein, you also have carbohydrates, and you also have healthy fats like vitamin E, and you also have another vitamins, and you also have minerals, and you have fiber. So we try to introduce in this shake all the nutrients you need to have a whole meal, a good meal for you to start the day. Because on the other side, it's very easy to eat. For me, it's very easy when I wake up. I'm a rower, and I have a rowing machine at home, and usually I do 20-30 minutes in my rowing machine, and after that I prepare my shake and I drink my shake, and it's very easy. It's very easy for me. So we have to look for easy ways to have a good nutrition, no complicated ways. Sometimes you say to the people, okay, you have to wake up, you have to go to the market, you have to select all the food, you have to wait any one of them, you have to calculate. Okay, if you do that, it's fine, but it's not so easy. But if I have a shake in which I have all the nutrients I need, I can improve my nutrition doing that, doing something very simple. This step is what we call put a shake in your life. When you put a shake in your life, you are starting your nutrition in the right way. And then, maybe for your lunch or for your dinner, you have more time and you take care of looking for this food, on preparing, cooking, and doing a right food perfectly. And if you don't have the time, you always can take another shake, okay? But it's like a help for you. I mean, whenever you need to have a meal easy and affordable and complete on nutrients, you have a shake, okay? So for me, for example, usually it's my breakfast. Sometimes it's my dinner when I come home a little bit late because I have been training with my team, rowing, because we train on night. We train at 8, 9 at night. And I arrive at home 10, 11 p.m. And I'm very tired and I have no time for preparing anything. I take a shake and go bed. So sometimes it's a different solution, but it's always like a tool. It's a tool that you can use for improving your nutrition. Okay? So with this shake, we are taking care of a very important point, that is protein, but also micronutrients. Because as you know, micronutrients that are vitamins and minerals are essentials. I mean, we cannot produce them. We need to eat them. So we need to put them in our diet. If we don't have enough minerals or enough vitamins in our diet, we are going to have problems. So in the last years has been produced some papers showing that especially older people that don't take care of their nutrition are deficient in the intake of vitamins. And we are talking in European people. I mean, people that has no problem to access to all the food like happen in Philippines. So people having all the food they can need is not eating the right food, especially when they are start to get older. And we have to take care of these people, because as we have seen, it's people that start to do less exercise, to eat less protein, even less vitamins. So we have to take care of their nutrition much more than most of the people. And the other point that is very important in this basic nutrition, the other point is hydration. We are made mainly of water. And we don't realize how important is hydration. And people tell me, yeah, Julian, I drink a lot. I drink at least 1 liter or 1.5 liters a day. No, you need, people talk about a minimum of 2 liters, but science say that actually is 2.8 for women and 3.8 for men. If we take in mind the water that is in the food, it means that you have to drink probably between 2.5 and 3 liters of water in standard conditions. I mean, with not doing exercise, with not being in a very hot environment. If you are in a hot environment that you are sweating a lot, or you are doing exercise, you need even more water. So don't worry about the water. Don't worry about drinking more. If you drink more, your body is able to take off this water. Even with more water, your body is going to be able to expose other molecules that are not good for you, like urea or other things. So in your urine, you have more water, your kidneys are going to work better. So drink whatever you want. Don't worry about that. Look, when I was in Sierra Nevada, in this altitude high training center, I recommended to the sport people who were training there to drink 6 liters of water every day. Look at that, 6 liters. When I say 6 liters, it means that, for example, if you take a shake of half a liter, actually there is close to half a liter of water in that. If you are doing exercise and before doing that, you drink a glass of water with aloe of 250 milliliters, it soothes. So if you finish your exercise and you take a recovery shake of half a liter, is another half a liter. So every liquid you drink, take part of this shroom of water you have to take every day. And also, we try to open our minds to new nutrients that demonstrate that are very important for our health. This is what happened with healthy fats, like vitamin E, vitamin D, or omega-3 fatty acids. Now, we know that it's very important, the balance between omega-3 and omega-6. And sadly, we are eating a lot of omega-6 in our diet and very few omega-3. This is one of the reasons that sometimes if we don't take enough omega-3 because we are not taking enough fish with these fats, we can keep in mind to supplement these omega-3 fatty acids because are very easy to supplement, okay? And we can increase in that way our intake of EPA and DIA omega-3 fatty acids. That is what we need for that. So we have developed a product with high concentration of EPA and DIA omega-3. And we can improve our nutrition if we don't take enough omega-3, okay? Because it's very important for our vision, for our brain, for our health. So we have to take care of taking the right amount of omega-3 every day. Remember, every day. With omega-3 is not so important as protein because we store fats, but we cannot be like a week without taking omega-3 and then think I'm going to take now. It's better. In nutrition, it's always better to do the things in the right way every day because nutrition is a daily, actually it's a multi-daily action, okay? Another point that is very important for me is fiber. Fiber has been thought that is important because regularity, and it's true. It's important because regularity. But now we know that we have solute fiber and unsolute fiber, and this solute fiber is also very important for satiety and also for feeding your bacteria. This good bacteria, we have said that is very important for you. So we can call that this fiber could be like a prebiotic. It's something to feed your bacteria. But on the other side, now has been discovered that most of the people have not the right population of bacteria. So we can increase our intake of fiber and it's very good, but we also can improve the bacteria in our guts. We now can take probiotics. What are probiotics? A probiotic is something that is going to put good bacteria in your gut. It's going to recover the balance of your microbiome. Okay? So you have to take it daily. Okay? It's very easy to take with some water, and it's going to improve this amount of good bacteria in your gut that have a very, very big function in your health, especially in your immune health. Okay, so it's very important now. And the last point I want to talk to you, because it's my specialty, is about physical activity. We have to try to be physically active. When we do that, when we do exercise, we create new needs. We create new needs of nutrients, especially of protein. When we do more exercise, we are accelerating the renovation and also the rebuilding of new muscle fibers. So we have to give to our body the protein for doing that. So we need more protein when we exercise. And we need more protein, especially associated to the exercise. This is the reason that we develop not only a Formula One shake for your daily food with protein dedicated to sport people, we also have a rebuild strength that is a recovery shake, something you can take when you finish your exercise, because at that time it's like your body is like asking for nutrients, for protein and for more nutrients. So we have put all these nutrients in the shake. So when you finish your workout, you take the shake and your muscles receive all they need for improving with your training. Okay? So at the end of the day, we are trying to develop products with science and technology to develop what we call an intelligent nutrition. A nutrition in which we are deciding what we want to eat. What we want to eat to improve, to reach our goals and to cover our needs. Always science-based. So at the end of the day, what you need is balanced nutrition, an active lifestyle, and the appropriate supplements to combine with this nutrition and with your lifestyle to have all the nutrients your body needs. And we have been more than 40 years doing that, trying to improve nutrition of the people and doing that around the world. So we are very happy of being more than 40 years doing that and taking care of our society too, being having a social commitment, because we think that the first point we have to take care is the nutrition of children. So we are in the nutrition for zero hunger, trying to avoid all the hunger around the world. So we are donating to that project, and also we are trying to help people to eat in the right way. So this is our mission, and we are very happy of having you here to help us on promoting this healthy and good nutrition lifestyle. And you want, I think we have some time for questions, and I try to answer all your doubts and all the information you want to ask from me. Okay, so I'm gonna take off my screen and I give back the connection to Anna.
Thank you, Doctor. So many key takeaways. I'm actually thinking of what to eat for dinner. So I am reminded to eat healthier later. So thank you. I think my favorite parts are, eating isn't just about calories. It's also about the nutrients. Actually, more importantly, the nutrients. And it's important for us and our media friends to help educate the public about proper nutrition. So I am grateful for our media partners who are here, who are very curious. They have a lot of questions. And of course, at the end of the day, consistency in eating a balanced diet plus healthy active lifestyle is still the best way to live healthier and happier. So good nutrition, good activity, It will help us age well. Thank you for giving us good practical examples. So I'm sure that our media friends have a lot of questions I can see in the chat. I will go ask your questions later. Let's start by calling some of our media friends so that they can ask the questions personally to you. May I call on Jamie Felix, Mermaid in Stilettos, to ask the first question? Hi, Jamie. Go ahead.
Hi, Julian.
Hi, Jamie.
Hello. I have a question. The Olympics just ended, and many people have been inspired by the Filipino athletes who participated in the games. Now, as a former doctor of Spanish Olympic expedition, can you recommend a diet plan for people who would like to be as fit as the athletes?
Okay. Thank you very much, Jamie. I think it's a very interesting question because sometimes people think that Olympic people is like a different specimens that are strange people. They are normal people who has been training for a long time and who are working for a long time for being able to be at the Olympics. But their body and our body is the same body. So when I work with Olympic people, the first thing I had to remind them, you are normal people. You have to eat well in your normal day. So sometimes they say, okay, doctor, we are Olympic athletes. We need a special product for us. Okay, maybe we can use some special product. We are going to talk a little bit about that. But the main point is this basic nutrition. Eat in the right way. This is important for Olympic athletes, important for everybody. So the first message is if you want to be fit like Olympic athletes, the first thing you have to do is to eat well. I mean, distribute your food, take the right breakfast, the right lunch, the right dinner, maybe some in between for keeping a continuous intake of protein, that is your muscle need. Also train, maybe you are not going to train as an Olympic athlete because they train the whole day, but train. And when you train, maybe we can do something special. And you know, when I was working in a professional basketball team, they call me Dr. Shake. And they call me Dr. Shake because I always give them a shake after training. So maybe it's one of the things we can do. And if you want, later we can explain a little bit more about what is this Dr. Julian recovery shake. Okay, but the main question or the main subject is take care of your nutrition every time. Don't think because I'm doing exercise, I can eat whatever I want because I'm burning a lot of calories and no worries what I want. No. It's very important what you eat because it's what we say. It's not about calories. It's about nutrients. And when you exercise, you need much more nutrients. Protein, vitamins, especially of the group B. You need more hydration. Take care of that when you are exercising, etc., etc. So, if you are doing exercise because you want to be fit, you have to have a good nutrition and we can say and plus more good nutrition. So you have to take more care of your nutrition when you are exercising. Okay?
Thank you, Jamie. Next, may I call on Sir Nonoy Taclino. Sir Nonoy, are you there? Go ahead.
Hello. Hi. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Julian, for that informative talk. Now, I'd like to ask about the meal replacement shakes. Can these meal replacement shakes provide the right amount of nutrients needed by people who are physically active, like those people who are into sports?
Again, a very interesting question. Thank you, Nanay. Because, you know, as I have said just now, the first point in an active people is to have a good core nutrition. So the shakes are useful for everybody. What happened with people who is physically active? They are going to need probably more protein. So they are going to need more shakes, or even a special shake that have been designed for them. That is what we call the 24-hour line. Are shakes in which we have increased the nutrients that are more important for people physically active. So, for sure, they can use the shake in the same way that everybody, because this shake is designed as a complete meal for everybody, but probably they are going to need more shakes than the people that are not physically active, especially around this activity for having an environment in yourself with a high level of nutrients, because when you exercise, you are going to need more nutrients. So, under the point of view of the product is designed for a human being needs and is useful for somebody who is physically active and not physically active. Actually, we want to have everybody to be physically active. But when you have this activity, maybe you are going to need more shakes or more nutrients because of your activity, okay? But the quality is going to be the same, and it's going to be useful for you. The point is that we have a Formula One that is especially for people who do exercise, that is Formula One Sports. But any one of the Formula Ones can be used for everybody.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Sir Nono. Next is Sir RJ Mataro of Lionheart TV. Sir RJ, go ahead.
Hello, Doc Julian. Hello.
Hello.
My question is, well, we were talking about being physically active. Because of the pandemic, many people have been living in a sedentary lifestyle. Can you share some advice on how they can continue to remain physically active while staying mostly at home?
I think you have to try to be physically active every day. And for sure, I love to practice sports outdoor. I'm a rower, and I go to row over the sea. So for me, it's amazing to go out. But when we could not go out, I was training at home, in my case, with a rowing machine. So there are a lot of people that have this kind of machines at home, rowing machines, static bicycles, walking machines, whatever is useful. But if you don't have anything, you can practice exercise just with your body. Just with your body, you can do a lot of exercises. And what is very nice is that has happened with this pandemic, that a lot of people can create channels or ways of connection in which people go together like we are now, but instead of talking or instead of giving a conference, they were doing exercise. You can do it that way. You can use your social networks to connect to people who want also to exercise and to follow good trainers and good coaches that are giving you this advice through internet. So we have options every time. The problem is in our head. It's like nutrition. You always have options. You can say, okay, but what I'm looking in this restaurant in front of my house is only red meat. Okay, look for another restaurant. Look for another shop. What you have to change is your brain. So if you want to exercise, you can exercise in any condition. So I think sometimes it's more difficult, but on the other side, we have more time for doing that. You are a lot of time at home. So at home you can exercise, and you have to exercise every day, everywhere around the world. Okay?
Thank you, Sir RJ. So exercise every day, everywhere. Thank you. May I call on Sir Christian Achondo from Mindanao Gold Star Daily? Sir Christian there, or I can ask on his behalf. Okay. Yeah, sir. There he is. Go ahead, Sir Dave.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, we can hear you po.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes po.
Oh, hello. Good afternoon, sir. A lot of people, especially Filipinos, are now taking up intermittent fasting. Is this safe? And also a follow-up question, out of curiosity, sir, have you heard of coconut fasting, where your diet revolves around coconuts? What's your reaction on this, sir?
Okay. I think it's an amazing question because there are a lot of people now going on that. You know, some years ago, the people was talking about another kind of intermittent fasting that was some days you do a fasting day and other days you do a normal diet. And now people is more moving to this intermittent fasting that consists on not to eat till one time, maybe at noon or afternoon. So you extend the night fasting to maybe 12 hours or 16 hours even. Okay, the more common formula is 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours in which you can eat. Okay, actually, all these practices has like techniques to try to control your brain. This is the problem. The problem is that if you don't put limits, we are eating the whole day. So for people, it's easier to say, okay, I have a closed window between night and maybe 2 p.m. There is a closed window, so I cannot eat and eat nothing. It's easy to understand to your brain, and then I can eat, okay? But for me, under a physiological point of view, as I say to you in the conference, protein has to be continuous. So you can tell me, no, but the people who talk about fasting say that fasting promotes some renewable processes. Yes, it's true, but it's happening during night. You don't need an extra fasting, okay? When you do an extra fasting, you are putting your body in some trouble, but a little trouble. So if this little trouble led you to control your food, for me it's good. But if you are able to control your food without fasting, for me it's even better. Okay? So I'm positive about any kind of strategy to make people to have your mind put in their food. And if the way is that, let's go with intermittent fasting. But if in the future we have enough culture and enough self-control for not to need that fasting, for me it's going to be better. Actually, in elite athletes, we try not to let them to do this kind of practices.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Sir Dave. For our next question, may I call on Sir Rocky Batara. Sir Rocky.
Hello. Hello. Hello, sir.
Hello, Rocky.
Hello. So, most of us are having an active lifestyle in our work, in our home, or even on our day-to-day activities. Now, my question goes, what principles in sports medicine that can be applied to our daily lives, and how can we put all those principles in our day-to-day real-life situations?
Very good question, because sometimes people think that sport nutrition is only designed for elite athletes. No, sport nutrition is trying to understand what is the connection between exercise, training, adaptation. What is when we are training, we are not training for fun. Maybe we are training for fun too, but we are training because when our training, we are improving our condition. So our training is promoting something that happens in my body that is called adaptation, that moves me to a better version. Yes. So I'm training to get my best version. Okay? So for letting the training to change my body to my best version, we need a special amount of nutrients, especially at the end of training. So if I had to translate one concept of sport nutrition to everybody who is doing any kind of activity, is they have to change the mind, because people think that if I'm going to train, the most important food is the food I take before training. It's not true. The most important food is the food you take after training.
Yes.
So you can go to training without eating, even in the morning. You can do fasting training because in that way your body is going to use and better the fats and whatever. Okay. Obviously, you cannot do a high level training without eating some carbohydrate. But if it's a soft training, you can do easily. But what is very important is that as soon as you finish your training, you give your body all the nutrients that your muscles need. So for me, the main concept we have to apply from sport nutrition to normal life is the recovery shake concept. Always you train, you have deserved a recovery shake. So you have trained, you deserve a recovery shake after training for being able, your muscles, to apply all this training on improve and to give the best version of you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Sir Rocky. May I call on Gab Diaz for the next question?
Hi, Julian. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. You know that Philippines are one of the probably the longest quarantine. So here's my question: for parents like me who have a kid, what are the indoor activity sports that we can do together to keep them active? Thank you.
I think it's very, very important. It's very important what you are asking to me because we have to realize that to be physically active have to be an habit from very young people, from children in very early ages. And actually, what happens with these children is that they want to follow that. If that goes with a bicycle, they want to have a bicycle to go with that. If that is playing with a ball, they want to be able to take the ball and play with that. So for them, playing is what is important. So most of sports are a playing way of exercise. So put the emphasis on that, on playing. Children love playing. So play with them, whatever. Depending, if you are at home, you have to look for place. It's very difficult to play football at home, but maybe you can do another place with a ball, to take the ball, to move the ball, I don't know, you can take a rope, you can use a rope that improve their coordination, for example, or you can play in a video game that is an active video game in which the video game is asking you to jump, to run, to do things, because on the other hand, if you compete a little bit with them, let them to win sometimes, okay? If you compete a little bit with them, it's more exciting for them, and they are more involved in that. So what we have to try is that introduce activity in their lives in the form of play. So they are going to be happy doing activities, doing sports. And it's what I say when I have parents to come to me with young athletes maybe in the teenagers that are very good athletes in their specialties, and they come to me and the parents ask me, Doctor, what is important for him to be an elite athlete in the future? And the first thing I say to them is what is important is that they enjoy what they are doing. If a child enjoy what he's doing, he's gonna do. So what we have to try is to communicate them activity in a very funny way, for them to enjoy with us, for them to share with us, and for doing this activity time like the happy hour of the family. Okay? For me, it's very important to create this link between happiness and exercise in the children.
Thank you, Gab. Thank you, Dr. Julian. Our next media partner who will ask is Sir Rory Visco. Hi, Sir Rory.
Hola. Hola, Dr. Garcia. Hello. Can you hear me,
Hola, Rory.
San? Yes, hello. Hola. I hope you're having a nice time, at least virtually here in the Philippines. Okay. My question is a little bit also related regarding the pandemic. And since many people are staying at home, they resorted to doing activities at home, including their physical exercises, meaning a lot of people are now into physical activities at home to escape boredom and etc. 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 Now my question is there a type of physical activity or will there be a type of physical activity that will determine how much we should portion our intake of proteins and carbohydrates to ensure a well-balanced diet? Thank you.
Okay, yes, it's a technically question, but this is very important because we have talked a little bit about this recovery shake. That is something we eat, we take when we finish the workout for giving our body the nutrients our body needs. And this recovery shake try to give you the protein, but also carbohydrates. And you need always protein and always carbohydrate. Yes, you need always protein and always carbohydrates. But when you do an exercise that we call an endurance exercise, I mean a long-lasting exercise in which you have empty your fuel deposits, this glycogen we were talking about, you need more carbohydrates. You need more carbohydrates to try to replenish these fuel deposits. So when you do a long-lasting exercise, you need more carbohydrates. When you do a short exercise, very intense or strength exercise that you destroy more muscles, you need more protein. So the kind of exercise you do can influence in the amount of protein and amount of carbohydrates you are going to need during the day to balance the imbalance that the exercise has produced. But in all these situations, I recommend at the end of the exercise to take a shake with the right amount of protein, because this right amount of protein is what stops what we call the breakdown. When you do exercise, you start to destroy your muscle cells because of the exercise. And when you stop and you give some protein intake, you stop this breakdown and you start to rebuild. So for doing this change at a very short time, it's important to take this recovery shake as soon as possible. And then, if you are an endurance athlete, for example, a triathlete, a marathon runner, or a cyclist, you have to increase the content of carbohydrates in your diet. They know they have to eat more pasta than normal people. Okay, but if you are involved in more strength exercise or in more high intensity exercise, you don't need to eat too much carbohydrate, although you are a sportman. So not all the sport people need to eat too many carbohydrates, but the people who is involved in endurance sports, in long-lasting sport, have to eat more carbohydrates.
Thank you, Sir Rory. May I call on Sir Mio Briones from Takeoff?
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, so my question is, how can nutrition play a role in post-workout or post-sports recovery?
Okay, as I said to you, for me, it's the most important time for sport nutrition, because there is something that we call the metabolic window. When you are doing exercise, you can drink, because obviously you have to drink a lot when you are doing exercise, especially in a hot environment, okay? And with this water you are drinking, you can introduce some electrolytes and maybe little amounts of nutrients, but little amount, because your digestive system is not working because your blood is in your muscles, okay? But as soon as you stop your workout, again, your digestive system start to work. So this is the best time to give these nutrients that are going to reach your muscles quickly because still the blood to your muscles is high. So there is like a special connection between your gut and your muscles as soon as you finish exercise. This is the importance of recovery shake. So this recovery shake has to be a shake. Why? Because liquid milk is very easy to eat, faster, and easy to digest, and has to have the nutrients you need to start your adaptation process, to stop this breakdown we were talking about, and to start to rebuild your muscles. So mainly it's protein, but there are also another nutrients that are very important, like vitamins of group B, or maybe even iron. If you have destroyed a lot of muscles, in your muscles, there is not only protein, there is also a protein called myoglobin that is very similar to hemoglobin that we have in the blood, that has iron inside, and we need iron to recover this myoglobin that is in the muscle. So we have to give all the nutrients to your muscles to recover as soon as possible, and to be able to train again, because training is not a one-session process, it's a multi-session process. We have to train, even sport people train 2 or 3 sessions every day. But although you train only one session one day, you have to be ready for the rest of the day and for your tomorrow session. So it's very important to have a good recovery of your muscles when you finish your training. And this is the reason of what we call the recovery shake. This is the main workout sport nutrition.
Thank you, Sir Romeo. We are actually down to our last 2 questions because we have no more time. But may I call on Ms. Rosel for the second and the last question? Thank you.
Hi, Rosel.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. Dr. Julian, I just want to know, what can you say about the meatless burger, etc., or the meatless alternative that is being marketed as a healthy alternative for meat products?
Excuse me, I don't understand well.
There are new products available that you can, instead of eating the real meat, there is an alternative meatless product, sort of a plant-based type. What can you say about it? Is it true that it is the healthier alternative?
Well, what happened is that what we have seen is that the till now is that plant protein is healthier than meat protein. Okay, now if we are producing new products related to meat, but are not really the meat we were consumed, probably it's gonna be the same. But we have to wait to see what is happening with this new food and to recheck what is healthier for us. For now, what we have to do is we have to let science to evolve, but we have to apply what we know, like a clear knowledge today. And the clear knowledge today is that we have to eat less meat and more plant protein, okay? So we have to try to move on that and wait to the future to see what these new products can affect our nutrition in the future. Obviously, our nutrition in the future is going to change because we are not going to be able to keep the way we are doing the things. And if you look at, for example, at Herbalife nutrition history, the products have been changing because has been adjusting to the known knowledge of the science. So when we will have new knowledge, we will have to test scientifically these new products, and we will be in a condition for telling to the people, okay, this is good for you, this is better for you, we can combine, whatever.
Thank you.
Thank you. For our last question, I will ask on Ms. Kat's behalf. So for Dr. Julian, I've been with Herbalife for 2 years now. You mentioned that it's okay to exercise in a fasted state. May I know if drinking my herbal concentrate tea in apple chamomile flavor before exercise on an empty stomach breaks the fast since it has 5 calories per serving? Thank you.
Yeah, when I say to the people that I love to do fasting exercise in the morning, I'm talking about eating, not about drinking. I think the first thing you have to do when you wake up actually is not eating, it's drinking. And maybe a tea concentrate or an aloe beverage is an amazing option for that. I recommend people to drink something and then exercise and then take their shake as their breakfast. So for me, it's a fantastic option. It's the best choice to drink something before exercise. I usually drink a tea with aloe before doing my exercise because on the other hand, when you are sleeping, you are losing water. This is the reason that when you wake up, actually before drinking and before going to exercise, you go to the service, you go to the toilet, okay? Because you have to urine all this liquid you have lost from the tissues. So the first point is recover this water, then exercise, and then take your breakfast.
Thank you. So for Ms. Kath, I hope you heard the answer. In the interest of time, those are all the questions po that we can accommodate. But we are very glad that all our media friends are very curious and have so much energy even at 5:30 p.m. Thank you so much for joining us. I just want to call on Dr. Julian for his final message before we have a group photo. Dr. Julian, any final message for our media friends?
Well, thank you very much for being here. And I know that most of you are very involved in this mission of trying to educate people to a good nutrition, a good lifestyle. So I hope to have been able to give you new tips, new messages to communicate to the people. And I thank you for being here and for your work trying to improve health and physical condition of people around the world. Thank you very much. It has been an honor to share this time with you. Thank you.
For this, thank you for your final message, Doctor. We just want to have a tiny souvenir through a group photo. I hope you don't mind. Laika will help take the photo. May I ask for our media friends to turn on their cameras so that we can have a group photo with Dr. Julian?
Hi everyone, good afternoon.
Hello.
Kindly turn on your cameras po so we can see your beautiful faces. Okay, ready? Smile. Okay, one more po. Smile. Okay, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon po.
Thank you. So that ends our August e-wellness tour. See you next month. Bago po tayo mag-end, may I just ask for a quick feedback survey from our media friends who attended this event. Interactive poll lang po.